Good evening, everyone. Welcome to everyone in the chat and everyone watching. We are bringing you the fourth round action of the TCR Sim Experience 2022 World Championship from Brands Hatch, the GP circuit. As we're just waiting for the countdown to complete, the guys are going to be going out for their qualifying session any minute now. But again, welcome to everyone in the chat. My name is Monet Deploy. I will be your host this evening. We are in for another classic tight race, I'm pretty sure, as we can have a look at those times on the left there. The fastest time so far in practice was a 1:32 flat from Peter Grobler. And you can see everyone in the top 10 are all in the 32s. So it's going to be crazy racing indeed. Welcome again, Cleopas. Nice of you to join us. And Kirsty, Rossi. We also have, who else do we have in the chat here? Denise, good to have you join us again. And Melvin, I suppose he messaged a bit earlier. But Melvin's in the chat as well as in the race. So it's good to see him being able to type a message in there quickly. But we're in for, if nobody knows about Brands Hatch, it's actually quite an interesting fact that I believe it was in the 1920s or 30s. The way it was basically started off as any sort of track, a cyclist actually stopped in a mushroom field just down the road, and he actually looked over and he saw the curvatures of the hills and everything that were resembled kind of like a nice line to riders. I believe it was I don't know what bike it was, bicycle. But then the cyclist asked the farmer by the mushroom farm if they could actually use it to practice on. And he said, okay, no problem. And then basically it became like a mecca for cyclists and runners, believe it or not. And decades later, it just evolved into a motor car and bike racetrack. And not much has changed actually since then, which is now around about 100 years ago. So really classic circuit this. It's definitely corners like Surtees and Druids, and especially Paddock Hill Bend are great overtaking places. But it's definitely going to be a good one. Just want to take you guys through basically our track map this evening. Well, let's first actually go through our leaderboard. So first of all, as you can see, Stephen Castellan, there's been a change at the top. So Stephen Castellan is leading the points, followed by Dennis Mitchell, Peter Grobler, Melvin Goos. As you see the points there starting to kind of spread out. I believe it's just because of the penalties that were applied in the previous rounds. So guys have dropped points, that sort of thing. So still keeping it pretty close, but things starting to spread out just a little bit. And then in fifth place, Dylan Fasaki, Gijsbert Nakel in sixth, Jason Nell, Mika Abrams in eighth, Gilly Silva in ninth, Sean Johnson in 10th, and then move on to our second page. In 11th, we have Ross Human and Sean Ulefi, Dennis Knutzer, Andre Hildebrandt, Chandra Drippenar, Rian van der Westhuizen, Donnie Stander. Donnie Stander actually mentioned that he couldn't make it tonight, so unfortunately he won't be joining us. And then we also have Tian Murray, Johan Labuskakni, Mario Claessens, and the final page, a lot of drivers to name. Herman Nievoet, Basil van Rijn, Craig Wesley, Sean Coggill, Willem Steen, Hilke Varenga, who is the owner of Alwyn, Automotive Glass and Aluminium. So he'll be joining us tonight for a race. So big shout out to him. And then Marius van Wyk also cannot join us tonight. He's in 27th. Javi Goos and Nathan Hannaford, who's also one that actually can't join us tonight. As we get rid of that, so have a look at our track map. Brands Hatch, like I said, in the United Kingdom. 2.433 miles long, which equates to 3.916 kilometers approximately. Got a seating capacity, or fan capacity, I should say, of 40,000. And then, like always, our race format, qualifying is 15 minutes. And then race 1 is based on the grid positions are based on the qualifying. And then race 2 will be based on the finishing positions from race 1. But having a look at the corners here, like I mentioned earlier, Paddock Hill Bend is the first corner the guys go into right at the top left there. And then down Pilgrim's Rise into Druids, which is a tight right-hander, like a hairpin basically. Very, very easy to want to get on the power early over there, but definitely you got to be patient when you're putting down the power there. Going through down Graham Hill Bend, along the Cooper Straight into Surtees, also another tricky one. You've got to keep a wide line into that and kind of a late apex, and then guys hit the straight. Down Pilgrim's Drop, another really good. You got to be quite daring to want to overtake on the inside over here, or even on the outside down Hawthorne's Bend, but it's been done before. And then through to Westfield Bend and Dingledale, another famous kind of kink to the right, and then Sheens, finishing off on our second last corner, and then through Clearways and the final corner, Clock Curve. So quite a tricky circuit, but I've always known it to be quite a fun circuit as well. I'm sure the guys are going to be loving it. And then the weather for today, 14 degrees, so pretty chilly. 21-degree track temperature with some pretty, heavy clouds. Doesn't look like it's too heavy right now, but you can see the wind blowing about. And it is 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Let's try and get on track with some of the guys over here. Dennis Mitchell is actually leading the qualifying now with a 32.167. We'll see if we can get on board with someone who's just about to start a lap. I see Dennis Mitchell is actually about to start a lap, so we'll go on board with him. Try and talk you through this along the Brabham Straight into Paddock Hill Bend. He's got a bit of traffic in front of him here. Manages to avoid the car going off onto the gravel. So late braking, you can brake pretty hard over here. There's unfortunately someone in his way. Luckily he is in pole position, but I'm sure he wants to secure that. I'm not sure who that is in front of him actually. If I can see the number plate, if we get close enough, then maybe I could see. But and then down into Surtees Bend, he's taking kind of a tight line there. Maybe in the front wheel drive cars it's a little bit different to the rear wheel drive. But I like to take a late apex over there to get a nice drive down the straight. Through down Hawthorne Hill into Hawthorne's Bend. Very scary corner, especially if you're doing this track in GT3s or any other rear-wheel drive faster cars. Also another tricky corner, Westfield Bend. Don't go too wide on the left. End up in the grass and then into the wall. Dingledale and then Sheen Curve. Someone going off there on the left. And then second last corner, Sterling's Bend. Maybe Dennis is going to get a nice little slipstream. It's actually Peter Krobler in front of him. So early turning over here. Let it run wide just a little bit through Clark Curve. See if he's going to use Peter Krobler for a little bit of a slipstream. He's actually... Oh, and Krobler takes pole position from Dennis. So I think maybe Dennis should try and use him as a slipstream there. Maybe he'll get a better lap time, but as you see, it actually looks like he's holding him up quite severely. So maybe he'd be kind of smart to just kind of back off a little bit and let him carry on and try and get some clean track time there. But so far your positions are Peter Krobler in first, Dennis Mitchell in second, Tommy Leary Moss, who's joining us in this league for the first time. I think the last time Tommy joined us in a league was with the MX-5s that we did last year. So good to see him back. And then we also have Melvin Goos in fourth place. Fifth place, we have Ati Nagel, or Geesbert Nagel. And then Jason Null is in sixth, who apparently only started practicing late this afternoon. So it's good to see him in the 32s at least. I was actually very surprised to see guys hitting the 31s. So I wonder if they're going to be hitting 31s in the race. I'm not too sure about that, but we'll have to see. 7th place, Stephen Castellan, Basil van Rijn in 8th, Sean Ullefried in 9th, and your top 10, finishing off your top 10 is Ross Human. Gilly Silva doesn't look like he's had a clean lap yet. He's sitting down in 18th place. So let's just try and have a look on board with him as you see some dust and dirt being kicked up from the cars in front of him. Going through 30s. Same line that Dennis took earlier, so I don't know, they must be a little bit different obviously to the rear-wheel drive cars. So Dennis getting close to that top spot, that pole position, but not quite yet. Sorry, I was just reading the YouTube comments there, and Cleopas is saying, all in caps, looking forward to some action. His caps should convey all the energy. And yes, it does. And Malvin close agrees. I don't know how he's doing this. He's probably just sitting in the pits or something. Is he? No, he's on track now, but he's probably on his phone, just kind of chatting on the side. Yes, and I did put on the track corners, but I had no idea that you could actually put the track corner names. You'll see I've got the corner names above the driver's names on the bottom right, but I had no idea that you could do that without the box, and then I ended up pinning it by accident, and then obviously the box around it disappeared. So I learned something new, and like I said, that one stream a couple of streams ago, if I could get that box to disappear, I would definitely use it. So it's good to have up there as well for you guys, and especially for me when I'm trying to think of the corner names and I'm like stuck for words. So yeah, and I think it looks quite cool like that, especially without the box. Very tight to the top indeed. Basil's in the building. Dennis the Alien, yeah. I see some support also for Krobies. That's Peter Krobler. 3.5 minutes just about left for qualifying. Tommy's back behind the wheel. Yep, he's back. Nomzu, how's it going? Saying let's go Sean. And Krobler must keep the Martians away. Yeah. Just to ask you guys, if anyone can let me know in the chat there if the audio is coming through okay. I've tried to even better my audio a little bit more this week, so let me know if it's actually coming through all right, and if you can hear me clearly, I'd appreciate it. So the last few minutes of qualifying, Khoos has actually stolen away. I must have missed that now, but Khoos has actually stolen the second position away from Dennis Mitchell. So with a 31.9, we'll see if Dennis can actually gather some extra lead in that right foot of his and try and get that second place back, or at least a second place. Maybe you can even take pole. I don't think I remember seeing him do any laps of practice actually, also up until probably about 2 hours ago. So for him to be up in third there, I definitely think that deserves an alien nickname. See if we can ride on his would-be side pod if it was a Formula car. Let's actually try and get a better view here. There we go. So we'll see what is on now. I'm going to try and have a look at the current sector times, but still down on the sector time, it looks like it. As you can see on the relative at the bottom right, there's just 72 thousandths of a second, or basically 700ths of a second behind Croft. Sorry, I think that's behind Melvin. Yeah, not behind Croft, sorry. But I see a lot of guys jumping in the pits. I think they've maybe just had enough of quali and just want to get on with the race. We do have only 19 drivers in the race tonight. We actually had more sign-ups this week due to the extra grid slots that I was able to basically get an update for this track and get 32 grid slots, and we had 29 guys signed up. So missing 10 guys, 10 drivers currently. So hopefully they'll join next week. But we'll have to see. It's unfortunate. At least we still got 19 guys, so that should be all right. Who else is on track here? Let's have a look with Tommy Lirimas. Cheers, Cleopas, loud and clear. Nomzu, whoever you are. Thanks, man. Good to hear that the audio is coming through loud and clear. Stream is looking epic. Thank you. Another shout out for Melvin there. Invade the Martian planet. Again, support for Peter. The split is insane. 100%. With literally, I was about to say with literally a few seconds to go of qualifying, it looks like provisionally Peter Croft has got pole position, but we're going to see if Melvin Khosh can steal that away from him. Dennis Mitchell will finish in third, unless Steven can do anything about that. But we will just quickly wait on this lap to see if he can actually better his time. Running a little wide there onto the grass, so not going to help his lap times much there. The Volvo car is a Namibia car driven by Melvin. As we get another shot on board. Going through the Westfield Bend. And then Dingledell. Second last corner now, a little bit wide, we'll see. He hasn't given up yet, so he must be up on his time. Or fairly close to stealing the pole position away. We'll see as he crosses the line now. So some guys also taking a little wider line there. I usually keep to the inside. So doesn't look like he'll be bettering his time, so he's going to finish in second. Your top three is Peter Croft, Melvin Khosh, and Dennis Mitchell rounding out the top three. And we see Basil. He was on a lap. He is still on a lap. We'll see if he can better his time. Someone spinning his wheels on the sand. So it looks like he still had... I mean, he started this lap, but he started it pretty late. I'm not sure if this lap's going to count. He's pretty close to 8th position, but I don't think this lap will count. We'll try and wait a bit and see. So he's only 17 thousandths of a second behind Jason Nell. Super quiet now, only with one car on the track. Have a look through with our static cameras. So I don't think he's gonna, it looks like he's end of the session. So All right, welcome back, guys. Sorry I had to cut you short there previously. The session had ended and I just cut to an ad break, but we are back with 40 seconds to go until the green lights, or until the red lights go out. So Peter Croft is going to have to defend that inside line pretty immensely if he wants to hang on to it. From Melvin Close, and I know Dennis Mitchell is going to be putting on the pressure. So this is going to be I'm trying to think of the correct or the best word to describe it, but yeah, as the lights come up, we'll see. And we're on board. Yeah, we'll be actually following Melvin Close. The lights are up. They're going one light, 3, 2, 1. And they are racing. We'll see. Terrible start from Peter Krobler, it looked like it, as Dennis Mitchell comes up through the middle. Is that Dennis Mitchell? No, that's Peter Krobler. Sorry, my bad. Dennis Mitchell is actually on the inside there. So some close racing already between these guys up in the front. And Dennis goes on the inside through Druids. We're going to see if he can hold on to the lead. Great move. He actually gained 2 positions there. So great stuff from Dennis Mitchell as someone slides out. I don't know who that was, but let's get on board with Melvin Close here. So great stuff from Dennis Mitchell there. Unfortunately, let's see where he is. Dennis Mitchell is actually, it looks like he's in the wrong car for some reason, and Peter Krobler is actually in his car. So something, oh no, that is Peter Krobler. Sorry, my bad. I'm not sure why Dennis is in number 27. I think maybe someone else must have taken his skin. But Peter Krobler, that's why I was confused, because he's also green. So anyway, Peter Krobler leads from Melvin Close, Dennis Mitchell in 3rd. These guys all within a second of each other. 4th place is Basil. And then we also have in 5th, Gilly Silva, as he's chasing down Basil van Rijn right now, as Basil goes a little wide, holds it onto on the black stuff. So Gilly having to go on the outside there. I'm sure that's not the ideal line that he wanted to actually take. But is there gonna be contact here? I hope not. So nice clean racing from those two. As we see Dennis Mitchell getting close to the back of Melvin Close once again. We'll stick with the top 3 for now. Jason Nell and Sean Willifeed. Sorry, swapping positions. I had to quickly change to that. So a lot of the cars running wide there. You can use that runoff area, but you don't want to go too wide, because then otherwise you start losing, definitely losing time. So let's go on with Dennis Mitchell. Yeah, just stick with the guys in front, and we'll see what Dennis can do. If he can hang on to the back of Melvin, or if they're just too quick. I see Jason Nell getting that position back. They're swapping positions back and forth in 7th and 8th place. Jason Nell and Sean Willifeed, and Gilly Silva actually getting past. Actually, they're also swapping positions back and forth. So let's switch over to them. As we see again, swapping positions with, I think it's Steven. Oh, and Basil goes wide into the dirt, into the gravel. Hopefully return safely. That is not really a safe track return, but luckily no incidents. So well done for everyone avoiding that. Sean Willifeed again and Jason Nell getting close to each other. Dylan Fasaki and Mika Abrams having a little duel for 11th and 12th in 11th and 12th place. We'll just keep an eye on this for a second. And Johnson actually just in front of Fasaki. He's the one that's actually 0.3 seconds behind Mika Abrams. Mika Abrams, who is our Formula 4 championship leader, trying to make his mark in the TCRs as well. Not doing too badly. I mean, Formula cars and TCR cars are not really the same thing. So it's good job on him to, get the knack, get the feeling of the TCR cars, and actually keeping it within the top 10 so far. And Dennis Mitchell's getting close to the back of Melvin now. See again some dust kicking up there. Oh, a little bit sideways gets Melvin. So Dennis actually had to back off there a little bit, going through Dingledale, and lost quite a bit of time. I think Melvin's feeling the pressure. The moment Peter Krobler just in front of these two guys, he's smiling from ear to ear right now. He's 1.7 seconds ahead of Melvin, so 2 seconds ahead of Dennis. I do think that Melvin is holding him up slightly, so he might have to just think about this a little bit more cleverly and try and work his way past Melvin. Ross Human now getting to the back. We'll swap over to 10th place now. Ross Human getting to the back of Mika Abrams. Mika actually gaining position there somehow. I'm not sure where that was. Yeah, it looked like Mika was looking on the inside over there. Not Mika, sorry. Ross looked like he was looking for a gap on the inside, but thought twice of it. So second place goes to Dennis Mitchell. He actually made the pass as I switched cameras probably. So great stuff there from Dennis. Now he's got to get to work to see if he can chase down Peter Krobler. Mika Abrams and Ross Human dropping. Oh, Mika Abrams actually dropped a few places there, so something must have happened. Maybe just slid out just a tad. Trying to fight his way back. We'll see if he can make anything of this. Let's try and have a look with our drone camera, shall we? That didn't work. There we go. We'll try and have a look with our drone camera here. These guys are close. They are getting to each other. So as you can see, there's literally the car in front makes one mistake and the car behind him needs to just react as quick as he can. But some really tight, close racing here by these guys. As we're going through now Sterling's Bend, we'll see. He's a little bit too far away now to make the pass, but he's not giving up just yet. I know Mika's only a 13-year-old kid, so he's doing really well to keep it in the top 10. So Mitchell now actually, or not Mitchell, it looked like he was actually dropping, and he did. Something must have happened. So he's dropped back now 1.8 seconds from Melvin Close. That leaves Melvin Close about 2.2 seconds from Peter Krobler. So Peter Krobler, again, just enjoying this, just cruising up in the front. Jason Null getting close to Gilly Silva. I know Gilly Silva, it's Gilly Silva, Jason Null, and I believe it is Dylan Fasaki all driving for the same team for SSRL. You'll see they've got the same liveries, but each of them got different colors on their roofs. So you see Jason Null's got the red on top of his roof, and yellow is Gilly, and then I believe, let's check, Dylan Fasaki's got the green roof. And then we see Mario Claessen's in front of Dylan Fasaki now. With that cool looking livery as well. Basil van Rijn in 10th, trying to make a move on the inside of Sean Willefeed. A little bit of a nudge there. I'm not sure if that was fair or not, but we'll have to check, see if there's any reports coming in the next 24 hours. But that was tight. Like I said, it's daring to try and attempt an overtake through that corner. Sean Coggill, unfortunately, heading through the gravel trap. Going through the farmland. Again, on the outside there. So nothing much happening in the top three now. Dennis is closing the gap slightly to Melvin. But Peter Krobler, see if we can get him on in on some action here. So Peter Krobler just running away with it right now. Sitting cheesy in first place. Really cool, his new 2022 livery he's running, the Jack Tuel Monster Energy, like a lime green, a really awesome looking livery. Sean Willefeed having a little dice here with Willem Steyn, half a second back. As we check out Dylan Fasaki getting really close to Mario Claessen's now. See if he's going to make this move stick. as he goes on the inside. Oh, a little bit of contact there. So luckily, well done to Mario for actually holding on to that. Really good driving from the both of them, but I think Mario was just probably a heart and mouth situation there. He didn't want to get tapped and then get sent into the farmlands. But some good driving nonetheless. Dennis Mitchell is really close now. Melvin must have had another mistake. Maybe his tires are busy going, pushing that car too hard, too early. We're halfway through the race now, 10 minutes and 20 seconds to go. So we'll have a look. We'll follow along with Dennis Mitchell, and we'll just see how he changes up his lines. Maybe tries to, you guys can pick something up. I'll also try my best to pick something up, see what he does differently. See over here, maybe he needs to think about taking a wider line and getting a better run through Surtees. But it looks like he's going to get a little bit of a draft going down through Hawthorne Hill and then into the bend. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll just keep watching it and see. So far, Krobler's still running away with it up in the front. Thanks for all the comments there, guys. Just reading the YouTube chat again. All the graphics and stuff. HKNY Media for the win. Appreciate it, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the racing. Let me try and get back to the action. So Dennis now with a little bit of a better run through Clock Curve. He is going to try and maybe take a dive up the inside. So he gets that move done. Well done to Dennis. And it looks like Melvin's trying to come back. But I don't think he's got the pace. Not just yet anyway. He's probably going to have to try and stick with them and keep up the pressure. Oh, see how close he is in the rearview mirror there. Almost getting a little bit too close for comfort. So Dennis got a better drive through out there. I think he slowed Melvin down slightly. But we're going to quickly swap over to Dylan Fasaki, who's battling out with Yandre Dupinar for 13th place. See a little bit of a lock up there. I just saw a puff of smoke. So going on the inside, Dylan. I thought they were going to make contact there, but nothing doing. Going up Pilgrim's Drop. Down the Hawthorne Hill. We'll see if he makes a move on the inside here of Hawthorne Bend. I don't know. It's going to be dodgy if he does, but okay, not just yet. He's super close though. Oh, it looked like he had to hit the brakes there, Dylan Fasaki. Let's get an onboard shot here. Oh, unfortunately, Dylan goes off into the farmlands, or the bundus, as I would like to say. So, and that sand slows you down quite a lot. It's actually crazy, like especially with the Formula cars. You can be going like 200 km an hour and then hit that sand and you'll be stopped within like 2 seconds, 3 seconds. So unfortunately for Dylan, dropping a couple of positions there. It looked like Basil van Rijn was about to make a move on Ross Human, but he must have made a little bit of a mistake as well, as just before I changed over. Castellan now getting in on the action here in the top 5. So Castellan now sitting 1 second behind Melvin. Melvin now just creeping up slowly behind Dennis again. But the gap now between Peter Krobler and second place Dennis Mitchell is just over 5 seconds, between 5 and 6 seconds. So if he can just hold on to this now, he doesn't even need to be setting personal best or anything like that. Just basically hold on to his nerve and make it through to the end, and I think he'll get this one, get this win in the bag. So Basil again getting close to Ross. Actually, before I look at this one, let me just switch over to Tommy Leary Moss on the back of Mario. I think there's going to be a move happening here. He is definitely super close. So we'll see if we can get some nice action from the drone camera here through our SKNY Media drone. So it looked like he was much closer there, but obviously not too close, or not close enough, should I say. So hopefully he can get a nice run through here. We'll have to see. He's actually dropped off quite a bit now, so I'm going to leave that one until they meet again, I should say. So Tommy getting a little bit squirrely over there. So these cars, when the tires start going, they are difficult under the brakes, especially if you're running a more rearward bias, which I believe the guys are able to set themselves. Yeah, great pass by Dennis earlier, definitely clear pass. So someone is in the pits. Sean Johnson's in the pits, so maybe something happened. Maybe he's got Sean Willifeed and Abrams. Abrams lets him go, but I think he's trying to get the little undercut. Maybe we'll see what happens on the next corner. So you can see Mika in not Mika. Yes, that is Mika in the rearview mirror. My bad. So we'll try and follow on board here with Mika. We see this little battle. Fasaki and Moss also getting really close. We'll see there on the timing board. Oh, and Fasaki. Let's switch over here. Fasaki getting really close. He actually made that pass, but he's getting really close to Mario, as you can see. Mario in this really cool looking livery that he designed himself. But these guys now, you see, 1 second they'll be all over each other, and then in the next second there'll be a huge gap. But these guys still fighting it out here, down in the back order of the grid. So Fasaki makes a move on the inside through Druid's Bend. But Mario comes back at him, so we'll see if he can get a nice run through. Yes, he can, going through the Cooper straight. And now Surtees, we'll see if Mario dives up on the inside. No. Okay, so well done to Fasaki there. Melvin Close still keeping up with Dennis, but just can't get within that 0.5 second gap to get a proper draft. With 3 minutes left to go. Dennis slowly also catching up to Peter Krobler. As we have a look now at Tommy, Larry Moss, and Mario again. So we saw them battling a little bit earlier, and I think Tommy got past him, but somehow he's landed up behind him again. We'll try and keep up with these guys. So, a little bit of a late dive on the inside, and unfortunately Mario spins. Get going, Mario. It looks like he's waiting. Get going, get going. We'll see if he can actually. So we'll see. Tommy's actually waiting for him. So he's trying not to slow himself, too much, because obviously he doesn't want to lose too many positions. But look, he actually waits for Mario to come back on the track. So good stuff there from Tommy Leary Moss. It's great to see that. So off to fight another day is Tommy Leary Moss. Just an accidental coming together there. Although Tommy's car does look a little bit battered. And his brakes look like they're failing him, although maybe it's his tires. 1.5 minutes left to go. Dennis Mitchell's trailing Peter Krobler by about 3.8 seconds. Melvin Close in third. 1.8 seconds behind Dennis. The Martian, the so-called Martian. So I'll take this opportunity to let you guys know as well, we are streaming. It's the first time I'm actually streaming to Twitch as well. So if you guys would rather follow us on Twitch, I will be streaming to Twitch every Wednesday from now on. So whatever, it's up to you. Definitely Nomzu, great sportsmanship. A little bit of a dive from Tommy there, but I mean, it didn't look too bad really. But I was just thinking Mario's going to report him. Whenever I see an accident as well, I was like, oh, that must be Mario. Just kidding. He actually told me I must say that. He actually said it was alright if I said that because he's always spinning out. So Jason Nell, actually, is he going to gain another position here on Gilly Silver? Teammates. So it looks like Jason Nell is going up on the inside. So he lets him go. Dingledell now. Man, that corner is so hair-raising. As we have a look at Jason Nell's livery, I mentioned the red roof on top of his car. And then we also have Gilly Silver just behind him as we head through clearways. There's Gilly Silver with the yellow roof. And then obviously Dylan Fasaki with the car in the green roof. So let me know also, this is the last lap, guys. Obviously Fasaki getting pretty close to Dippenard, but not close enough. Last lap by Peter Krobler now. We'll follow along with him. Okay, he's about almost halfway through the lap, so he's still got a ways to go. But we're going to try and keep an eye out on any battles going on between the drivers. As we can see, we'll try and see if we can spot them doing a little battle before the finish line. And we'll take a drive just so long with Peter Krobler. Get a little bit of a victory kind of, you know, a little bit of a victory celebration. Well, I suppose it's not over until it's over, but I mean, this is the last lap and you can hear him, he is taking it relatively easy. But as we have a look at his really cool looking JTL Monster Energy livery, we'll see his name on the back of the car there. So well done to Peter Krobler. It looks like he's going to come across the line and take the win for the first race of round 4 at Brands Hatch. And indeed he does. So great stuff from Peter Krobler, and Dennis Mitchell following closely in second. So well done to Dennis for his P2. And then we also have Melvin Goos finishing in 3rd place, Peter Castellan in 4th, Jason Nell in 5th, Gilly Silva in 6th. 7th is Gijs Batnakel, Ross Human in 8th, 9th place is Basil van Rijn, and rounding out your top 10 is Mika Abrams. So good stuff from Mika, getting a top 10 finish, as we see him coming through the finish line now. Willem Steyn, well-deserved 11th place there, so great to see him finishing up quite high up the order actually, so well done to Willem there. Great drive from him. As we see guys just stopping in the middle of the track. It is just a game after all. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that first race action. I'm just going to take a quick short break and be back in a few minutes with race number 2, and it will be the reverse grid. So see you in a few minutes. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for the race number 2, the reverse grid race. And it is definitely going to be a cracker. As we just have a look here at our grid. So Mario is actually starting in first. So he's going to have some very high amount of pressure, to say the least, in the first part of the couple of laps. Sean Coggle in second there. Tommy Larry Moss in third. In fourth is Rian van der Westhuizen on the right. You'll see him there on the left side of the track. Sean Willefried in fifth. That's your top 5. Dylan Fasaki in sixth. 7th is Jean-Andre Duppenaar. 8th is Willem Steyn. Good starting position for him. Mick Abrams in 9th. And in your top 10, Basil van Rijn. Dennis Mitchell starting all the way back in 17th, with Peter Grobler actually starting 18th. So this is going to be a great one, guys. Let's get going as the lights are up. Someone blowing their hooter there. As we see 3 lights out, 4, 5, and 6, and 3, 2, 1. And there's a couple of jump starts there. I'm not sure what's going on there. I'm not sure if those guys will get drive-throughs or not. I'm pretty sure they will. But yeah, that was pretty crazy seeing the jump start just going through the traffic. Sean Willefried leads us on lap 1, followed by Mario Klaassen, Jan Duppenaar in third, Sean Coggle in fourth. We'll see if Sean can hold on to that fourth place. Fasaki sitting in 6th place right now. So 5th place, sorry, in a decent position. We'll see who's gained positions at the back. We'll see Dennis Mitchell's in 12th right now, so good few positions. As we see there, unfortunately, Van der Westhuizen getting spun around again. I'm not sure what happened over there, but unfortunately for him, hopefully he carries on with the race. But we'll stick with the front guys, and Mario Klaassen's in third, trying to hang on to that 3rd place. Someone looked like they were about to go very wide, and indeed they did. I think that was Jean-Andre Duppenaar. So Klaassen's getting that 2nd position back. He's going to have to defend heavily going to Dingle Dell here. So side-by-side action right in the beginning of the race here. So it's great stuff to see. As Mario sticks it on the inside and gives Duppenaar a little bit of a shove. I wonder if he's going to be waiting for him. We'll have to see. It looks like he's sticking to the inside of the track, but he's not waiting. So I guess, oh, someone, who's that going into the pits? Oh, that's Hoos. That's Hoos in the pits. So he's obviously got a drive-through penalty. I wonder if he was one of the ones that was involved in the jump start there. It looks like it was a drive-through penalty, or I don't know what's happening with him. It looks like he disconnected, actually. So, sorry to see that Melbourne disconnecting, but we'll carry on with action in 4th place here with Basil van Rijn. See what he can do. So he's got a little bit of a run, it looks like it, on Tommy Larry Moss, that is. We'll see if he can try and make a move somewhere. This track being as tight as it is, you've got to literally just try and pressure the car in front of you and just try and, as I say that, try and not make a mistake. So Basil getting a little bit sideways there. The guy's going side by side through Dingledale, through Sheen Curve, and it looks like he tried the cutback there, did Tommy, and it worked in his favor. So Basil losing 3 positions there, colliding with Dennis Mitchell. So I don't think Dennis is going to be too impressed with that. As we see some more side-by-side action. Oh, my bad. Side-by-side action between Dennis Mitchell. And look at this train of cars here as we go on board here with the drone camera. So all going down through the off-camber turn 1 of Paddock Hill Bend. So Ross now in 10th place, trying to work his way up. Jason Nell in 7th, who's right behind Steven. Oh, a little bit of a nudge there. Nothing too bad though. They all carry on driving in a straight line, so to speak. Micah Abrams is in first place. I'm just trying to catch up with the guys here. Jason Nell getting a little bit sideways, losing a few positions. There's a lot more carnage in the second race, which is expected because of the reverse grid format that we run. Kelly Silva and Stephen Castellan swapping positions back and forth. It's good to see the heat wave gone from Cape Town that was causing us all issues last week. It looks like, did I see someone disconnect there? I thought I saw a car and then it disappeared, but hey, maybe it was just my eyes. Stephen Castellan still working his way up. Jason Nell getting past Sean Coggill. Oh no, it's Sean Coggill that's just going side by side, Jason and Sean, a little bit. So Sean had to back off a little bit there to avoid the contact. But it does look like Sean is going to get a nice run, possibly. And Sean Willifie here, he's also trying his best to get in on the action. As Fasaki tries to look up the inside through Druids, but still nothing doing there. We'll try and catch up here with Ross Human. And the guys battling it out for 9th and 10th. Getting some side-by-side action there. Everyone, for the most part, keeping it nice and clean, so it's all good to see. Dennis Mitchell's up to 5th now, so he did lose a couple of positions earlier just from that little bit of a tap. And he's right now next to Steven, going side-by-side here through the Westfield bend. As we head up to Sheen Curve. So well done to Dennis there, gaining another position up into 4th right now. So if he can hold it together, he's only 5, 7, I'd say 8 seconds behind Mika up in the front, and he's definitely got the pace. He just needs the clear track. Jason Null still fighting it out with Peter Krobler. So I'm actually going to get a view of Gilly Silva, but I'm going to try and get a view with the drone camera from above so we can see how close, get a better view of how these guys actually, the lines they take and just how close they are together. Hopefully it doesn't make you too dizzy, but just to kind of get an idea from a bird's eye view. So going up now down the Cooper Straight into Surtees, we'll see all 3 drivers here following basically the same line. As we look back at Peter Krobler, Jason Null and Ross Human over there getting pretty close to each other, but not as close as these 2 or 3 cars right here. So pretty cool perspective, seeing how the cars, which lines they take, that sort of thing, how close they are from the air. Stephen Castellan is fighting back now with Dennis Mitchell. So everyone just going slightly wide there onto the grass, almost halfway through the race already. And Micah Abrams is holding onto that lead. He's only a second ahead though of Tommy Leary Moss in 2nd place. Castellan trying to find that draft of Dennis. So as you see, there's a logo up in your top right of your screen there right now, Alwyn. Very big shout out to Alwyn Glass Automotive Aluminium, who sponsor our series. So they do help us out a lot in terms of keeping the production going. So very big shout out to them. And then obviously to SKNY Media for all the production work that they do. Who have the new drone camera with us tonight. Hopefully you guys like that, and yeah, hopefully we can bring you more action with the drone camera. So Silver getting closer to Steven, and Steven getting even closer now to Dennis. So, Silver unfortunately losing it into the gravel. Gilly. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, unfortunate for him. He's now dropped down, what is that, 6 positions? So, unfortunately for him, as we see another big puff of smoke coming from the car, 2 cars ahead. I believe that's Dennis Mitchell. Sean Ullafi trying to get to the back of Sean Johnson. So we at least have 19 drivers on the track. I see Melvin actually just caught my eye there. He's back on track. He must have just had a disconnect on his side for some reason. Very unfortunate. We'll see if he can maybe. He's only 2 positions away. Basically, what is it? A second? Maybe 5 seconds, sorry, from being in the points. Even though will only be a point or a couple of points. But I mean, you know, you take what you can get. I mean, he is in the championship currently. I think he's in 4th position. So not running a ballast tonight, but definitely any sort of points will definitely help him out in the championship. So Peter Krobler chasing down Stephen Castellan, keeping him honest. You got to really trust the driver in front of you when you're following so closely, and sometimes even blindly. So yeah, so great skill shown by Peter Krobler. And I was about to say Stephen Castellan as well, as he runs wide, and again great skill by Peter as he notices that and he acts fast and goes down the inside. So great stuff there from Peter Krobler. So Ati on the back of Ross. We'll see if he can get anything done. Going down the Bramham Straight and into the first corner, Paddock Hill Bend. Nice line. That's about the ideal line that you want to take. Late apex, yeah, like don't get on the power too early. Remember, like I said. So great stuff there. Ati doing a good job and showing us how it's done. Trying to catch up to the front of the field. Dennis now in 4th. Basil von Rain actually, I think he jumped a position in front of Dennis. I'm not too sure, but I think he did earlier on. But we'll try and keep up with the top guys in a minute. Just want to check in here with Jason and Steven. As again, following super closely. And the thing is, even if like the car is super close in front of you, as you see there, you've got to trust them to brake where they usually brake, and trust their consistency. Otherwise, you've just got to slow down, and it messes up your whole kind of momentum. You can't just go barging through them. So we'll see if you can get it done over here. There is a nice run coming up here. Let's have a look with that drone camera. This should be a good move if you can get it done. Oh, getting side by side there. Going up Hillwoods Hill, up Druids Bend. So Jason keeping the inside. Whoop. Keeping the inside and managing to save that position from Steven. For now at least, anyway. So our drone pilot almost lost it there. Almost lost the drone. Looked like he was spinning around in circles. So Castellan's still trying to get back up to Jason Nell. Ross Human, we'll see, catch up with him a little bit. So as I look at down the table, down the tower there on the left hand side, Sean Johnson's in the pits. Not sure if he's had a disconnect or maybe just some damage. and you see Melvin close gaining that position. So one more position for Melvin to gain, and then he's in the points. Side by side action between Ross and Sean. Some great racing we're seeing here. With 6 minutes left to go already. I mean, time flew by. Oh, everyone is just going wide there and just messing their tires. I'm surprised there's no corner cut there in place. We'll see how he goes through clearways and then onto the Clark curve. So nice, I would hold a tight line here. So relatively tight line, yeah, great stuff. Dennis Mitchell is really close to Basil now. So is Dennis going to make a podium place again for a 3rd week in a row? 4th week, I believe, in a row. My bad. So Mika Abrams still leading us. I'm not too sure why guys aren't in their liveries, their standard liveries that were made for them. But anyway, that's not that important right now. At least everything's running smoothly and we have some great racing action to watch. Castellan getting really close to Peter. As we see Willem Steyn even getting really close to the back of Jandre Dippenaar. Mario Claessen's lurking 3 seconds back there in the background. So he looked like he was moving up on the inside. I'll just have a watch from Willem's point of view. At Jandre up in front. And Sean Cargill, these guys battling it out here. So not getting it done just yet. And there we go. I knew he was going to outbrake himself. Well, I had a feeling anyway. So great move there from Willem Steyn just to let him fly by. Unfortunately for Dippenaar losing a place there, but he did come in relatively hot into that corner. So these guys are swapping positions here. It's Ross Human and Dylan Fasaki as we're drifting now, drifting the front wheel drive cars. I'm going to try actually go one back and try to have a look. And we see if there's a move coming here. Oh, almost getting tapped there. But luckily, keeping it in a straight line. Gilly Silva now also still keeping up with Sean Olifield. Rion van der Westhuizen's caught back up the pack a little bit. Let's try and go on board here with Dippenaar. I feel it in my fingers that some great pass is about to happen somewhere. So we'll have a look here on board with Basil van Rijn, looking back at Dennis Mitchell. So Dennis still trying to get back up close to Basil, but can't make a move just yet. Yeah, it's confusing with everyone's numbers, car numbers changing, because Dennis was in 42. He's meant to be in car number 42, but now he's driving in car number 27, and his livery's all different. But for some reason, they're not in their correct liveries. They're in their correct cars, but they are not in their correct liveries, unfortunately. So some positions being swapped here, is it? Yes, some really tight racing there. Well done to Gilly Silva for making that move on Sean Willifeed. He must have been like, what? This guy coming up on my inside here. He left the door open, so you know he has to go for it. Willem Steyn now in 14th, so only dropping a few positions. I believe he started the race in 11th. See if he can fight his way back up with a minute and a half left to go. So Mika Abrams is actually, if he holds this together, most likely going to get his first win in the TCRs. Follow along him a little bit. Clearpot saying earlier in the chat, yeah, well done to Kid Mika leading the veterans. Yep. He's got talent, man, I'll tell you that much. Definitely got way too much talent. And I see Clearpot saying it's not a simulator either, it's a way of life. That is true as well. So Dennis getting really close now. Finally, as close as what he's been to Basil van Rijn. We'll see how close he can get and if he can make a pass. This is about the closest battle on track right now, at least in the top 10. So we'll follow along here in the rear view of Basil. See someone going wide there. It must be Tommy Leary Moss ahead of them, just kicking up some dust and leaving some tire smoke up in the air there for the guys. But just as he gains some time, he seems to be losing a bit as well. As now looking back from Rian van der Westhuizen and looking back at Mario Claessens, he caught up really quickly. So these guys are pretty much on the same pace, especially during practice. Oh, Mario going into the sand trap there. This is, oh, those things are as bad as the bunkers on a golf course. So getting back at Dennis Mitchell again, caught up a bit. We'll see. Looks like he's got a slightly better run coming out of that turn before the straight, going down Hawthorne Hill. But again, oh, Mika Abrams has lost it. I think he may have taken someone out, possibly. As he's waiting, but he's waiting in the middle of the track, which is not a good idea, just to sit in the middle of the track. I have no idea what he's doing. Is he waiting for another driver? Did he disconnect? I am not even sure. Is his steering wheel moving? No. Okay, well, this is the last lap, guys. I'm not sure what's happened with Mika Abrams. Maybe something happened. Hopefully he's okay where he is. What? Dennis Mitchell taking the win. Unbelievable. Sorry I missed that, guys, but yeah, Dennis Mitchell must have taken the win on that last lap, so great stuff from him. Jason L coming in second. Third place is Tommy Leary Moss. Fourth is Stephen Castellan. Fifth, Gijsbert Atti Nagel. Sixth place is Peter Krobler. Basil van Rijn in seventh. Gilly Silva in eighth. Really good finishing position for Gilly. And then we have ninth place, Ross Human. And then 10th place, we have Dylan Fasaki rounding out the top 10. Sean Cargill, these guys battling it out there. That is a photo finish. Look at that. 0.08 of a second apart, Sean Cargill and Willem Steyn. So that was a really, really tight finish for those guys over there. So great stuff. I'm not sure how Dennis finished first, but great job. Sorry again, I missed that finish there, but I was really confused. Is he still on the track? No, he's in the pits now. Okay, so that is your race number 2, guys, and I'm going to see if I can get some guys in the top 3 from race 1 and race 2 in for a chat, and we'll be back in a few minutes with that. So don't go anywhere, stick around, and see you shortly. right, welcome back, everyone. Got some guys in here, the top three from each of the races, just for some interviews. First of all, your race one winner, Peter Krobler, and then Dennis Mitchell, you finished second. Third place was Melvin Close, and then Dennis Mitchell winning the second race, and then Jason Nell in second, and Tommy Leary Moss, who's also joined us, who came out in third. So first of all, I've got to say, seeing as that's on my mind now, Dennis, how on earth did you win that second race? Obviously, tell us how the first race went, but for a second, I was busy trying to see what was going on with Mika, because he just stopped dead in the track, in the middle of the track, and then next thing I see, you're up in first place, and then you crossed the finish line. So what happened there?
Yeah, it was a bit of confusion because I passed Mika on the last lap of race 2, and he was just sort of cruising. So I wasn't sure, was he moving over to let us go past? I thought that's not likely to be what he was doing. And I thought maybe he ran out of fuel, because I know from race 1 to race 2, I dropped my fuel because I had an extra 5 liters of fuel in by the end of the race. So I thought, I'm going to take some out. So yeah, maybe he took a bit too much out and got caught out by it. And then just after that, as I went into Dingle Dell, first and second had a tangle. So I just sort of said, thanks guys, thanks for the win. Just cruised past. And race 1, yeah, that was also quite a tough race. Myself and Marvin had quite a nice little tussle twice or so. So I went off the one time and then had to come back and try to fight him. And he was drifting the car, but he was managing to keep up his speed while going sideways. It was pretty awesome to watch.
Crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
So, but Peter was gone in race 1, so there was just no way I could catch him. So yeah, well done to Peter as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I was actually just, now as you said it, with Mika and then the fuel situation, I see his mom just commented in the YouTube there that he ran out of fuel. So obviously not choosing to take that extra bit of fuel just in case. But and then Peter Krobler winning the first race there. You, like Dennis said, you had that, it seemed like, in the bag from the get-go, and it didn't look like you were bothered by anything. So let us know how that went, the first race, and then also your second race.
Yeah, first race was quite nice. It actually felt a bit lonely there in front, with nobody chasing or in my vicinity. So it was quite boring, and I'm not known to keep my concentration when I'm don't have any pressure on me.
Exactly.
But it was quite nice. I tried to save some fuel because I was worried about the fuel in the mid-center race, and then I saw at the end more or less, no, my fuel's going to make it. So I managed, I think, on the second last lap to do my fastest lap
to push,
of the race. So it was quite nice. I also saw a hectic battle behind me between Melvin and Dennis, and well done to them. The second race, it started off, I tried to dodge all the pranks and all those things. And then I managed to catch up almost to the front. And then Jason was all over me in the second race at the back of me. So we had some sort of a ding-dong battle, which was quite nice. And then, there at the end, there was chaos. So little bit unhappy about that, but we'll manage it.
Yeah, no, man, well done. And again, I saw a little bit of, definitely the second race, the reverse grid race, is always going to have a lot more, carnage in it than the first race because of the reverse grid. But who knows, maybe by the end of the season, we would have at least had one relatively clean second race. But well done.
Yeah, I think if it wasn't for that big incident at the last corner of the last lap, I think it would have been a proper clean race for race 2.
Yeah, no, for sure, I agree. But thank you very much, Peter. And then the first race, we'll do the first race, and then we'll go on to the second race, the third place. But third place in the first race, Melvin. You also looked like you had some good battles there, and I mean, with a lot of guys as well that I was watching, they would like kind of get really close to the car in front, but then obviously being the same power to weight ratio, well, basically the same power to weight ratio, it's just super difficult to get close, especially if the guy's braking points aren't the same as yours. So it's difficult to having to avoid contact, basically, because I saw that a couple of times from a lot of guys, and then you lose your your pace and your momentum. But good finish in the first race there. and I think you had a disconnect in the second race because I saw you disappear and then you came back again. But yeah, how did that first race go for you? And also congrats on that P3.
Thanks, man. Yeah, well, basically the white penalties, you can feel the difference. Brands Hatch, in this case, I love the track, so it really suited me. I was worried about the weight, but I could actually keep up for a while with Dennis because it's a momentum track. So if you can keep the momentum flowing, you can go for it. And we had a good little tussle. He went off at one stage, and I was actually telling Peter, "Okay, go, go, go." He's off, So I'm driving as a team. I'm trying to give him as much info as I can.
Yeah.
And then I said, "Okay, he's gone." He passed me again. I couldn't keep behind me, and it was a fun race. I managed to keep up, but I was worried a lot about Stephen behind me because he was really catching up quick.
Yes.
And then towards the end, strangely enough, the tires at about 92%, they went. And it was like driving on ice. There was no grip
just
at all.
Fell off.
And then they came back towards the last couple of laps.
Yeah, that is strange.
It's very weird. But the weights do play a massive role. And I think next week is going to be hectic with the increased weight penalty we've got. It's
yeah, definitely. I heard about that.
You're definitely going to see much earlier braking from the heavier cars. You're going to see heavier fuel consumption. So it's going to be interesting to watch. I'm looking forward to that.
If guys don't get their practice in, they're going to be caught out, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Race 2 for me, I don't know what happened, to be honest. I was sitting on the grid. Blonde moment or stupidity. I flipped it into gear and poof, I went. And I decided, okay, I told Peter, okay, I jumped.
Yeah.
I went, I took the stop go, and as it reset over the finish line, it kicked me out of the service. So I don't know if it's a mod issue, but no matter. I mean, I came back and hoped that there would be carnage and I would get some positions back. But
I mean, I saw you gain a couple, I think.
Yeah, well, no, I was a lap down. So I basically just hot lapped myself, and at least I managed to win you, the commentator. So, but it was fun. It was really, I enjoyed it. I love the track, and it was really, as I said, race 1 with Dennis was quite fun. It was.
Yeah,
he is just so flippin' smooth and fast. It's
good to race against him for sure.
Yeah.
But no, it's cool, man. Pardon me?
Looking forward to next week, definitely.
Yes, definitely. Watkins Glen is next week. But I see you did. Okay, well, you didn't finish last. It looks like in the points here you finished 18th in the second race. But I mean, you were one position off, just scoring I think a point or two. But unfortunately, I'm not sure because I actually saw your car just sink into the ground as you were coming out of the pits. But
as soon as I went over, it kicked me. So, but I came back in and I hoped for some points.
Yeah.
But okay, hopefully.
Yeah, it's just one of those things.
Hopefully, I won't have weight. Then they're going to be in the cut this week.
Exactly, and at the moment, I'll kind of go over the points positions after I've spoken to Tommy. But at the moment, you are just outside the ballast, so you're sitting in 4th. So
nice.
luckily, you will have no ballast. But thanks, and then well done again, man, and good to have you joined back after your disconnection, and then carry on racing.
So thanks, Maurice.
No worries. And then Tommy, finally get to you. Your 3rd place finish in the second race. So I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly which position you started in, but I believe it was in the top 10. But I mean, it's great to see that you actually held on to the top kind of 10 guys there and actually managed to podium there on your first race in the TCRs. I think it's your first race with us, your first league race with us since the MX5s.
Yeah, that is correct. I've been out for quite a while. I haven't really done any racing for the past few months. And then I spoke to Dennis earlier the week and he asked me, or he's actually been asking me to come and race with him for quite a while. Mm-hmm. But with work and everything, it's been a little bit hectic. So I don't really have much time for some racing, but I made a little bit of time to come out tonight and race again. But for the first time out, it was a little bit hectic in the first race.
Yeah.
Had a bit of a slip up and then just stayed out of the way, let everyone pass, and then rejoined back on the track and just stayed on it. Get the feel of the racing again. And then the second race went a little bit better up until the final lap where there was a little bit of argy-bargy between me and Basil going into, I think it was the third last corner. And that completely threw everything off. Going into the last corner, he slowed down in front of me, and I tried avoiding him, and there was a little bit of contact between me and Peter as well. And yeah, I managed to hold on to that third place. But it was a
Yeah,
good
no, no.
race to be back on the track again for the first time in a long time. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, it was good to have you join us. I actually, when you mentioned that little bit of contact, I think it was between you and Mario. I saw you actually waiting. You slowed down and you were kind of slowing down, and I was saying on the stream, I was like, "Come on, Mario, turn around. He's waiting." So it's good to see. That's good sportsmanship. But yeah, man, well done, and congrats on your P3. And again, thanks for joining us. Hopefully, we see you at Watkins Glen next week.
Yeah, no, definitely. I did tell Dennis that I will stay in the TCR league, so I'll definitely be out on the track next week, Wednesday again. I just can't do any racing on weekends, seeing that I'm not even at home on the weekend. So it's a
No
little bit
worries.
hectic, but I do make some time on a Wednesday to fall in with the league now again.
Oh, I'm glad you made the effort, man. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you racing again.
All good. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Okay, no worries. And then with that, I think I've covered everyone this time. Didn't leave anyone out like I did the last time.
Jason's still
Jason as well.
Jason, there we go. That's what I thought about. I was literally looking up on the chat here in the on the Discord to see if I actually missed out anyone, and luckily I also saw his name. But Jason,
The forgotten one.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm celebrating.
Jason / Dylan.
Well done on your P2 in the second race there. Your first race didn't go as well as your second race, but I guess it gave you the advantage in the second race with the reverse grid. But I also saw you battling it out quite a few times with a lot of guys. I can't even recall the names. There were so many. But yeah, man, how did that? I believe the second race went better. So let's talk about the second race. How did that one go for you?
The second race was hectic. I mean, the first race, like Melvin was saying, we started losing tires at about 5 or 6 minutes left in the race, and it was just like driving on ice. So the second race, I was trying to be conservative and try and see if I can save some tires, but eventually falling behind Steven and Grobby, so I thought, okay, well, I can't be conservative now. These guys are quick. So I managed to pass Steven, and then I was like Grobby says, I was all behind him for a couple of laps, and then, yeah, it was good fun. And like they've mentioned, the last lap, the last couple of corners is a bit of chaos, and I managed to come from 5th to 2nd. So I mean, champagne showers all around.
Yeah, no, that was it was good to see you come in second there, especially after. I mean, I believe you were like Dennis as well. I know Dennis only started like actually getting some practice in about 2 hours or something like that before the race start. And yeah, I know you did the same. So yeah, congrats on that. But anybody want to say anything? Give a shout out to anyone. I'm not going to go through all of you, but if anyone wants to, you can jump in and say a shout out.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to my mom, my dad, and my racing team. Thanks for sponsoring.
Yeah, and to yourself, Monet, for everything, and also to Owen for making this possible, and the guys that have provided our new server for us. It worked flawlessly tonight, so thanks a million for that as well.
Yeah, big ups to you guys. I mean, well done. The series is awesome, and Monet, well done for the stream. It's always looking good.
Thanks, man.
Right, guys. Cheers.
All right, thanks for joining, guys. And yeah, like I said, if we have as good as a race next week as this week, again, like every week, the rest of the series is definitely going to be, get more exciting, should I say. So yeah, well done, and we'll see you all next week.
Right, cheers.
All right, guys. So that is it for our interviews. Thanks very much for sticking around. I see there are a few of you still in the YouTube chat, and I see one person's actually watching on the Twitch channel. So for the first Twitch stream, it's good to see someone's at least watching on there. So thank you for joining. But that is it from Brands Hatch. As you heard me say a little earlier, next week's race will be at Watkins Glen for our 5th round of the 2022 TCR World Championship. Proudly sponsored by Alwyn Automotive Glass and Aluminium and SKNY Media. And also, again, a big thanks to the guys who we've swapped servers to over in Cape Town. Tonight, the server worked 100%. Everything went smooth. So a big shout out to them. And then from me, or actually from all of us here at Sim Experience South Africa, thank you for joining. We'll see you next week at Watkins Glen. If you're around on Saturday night to catch the F4 racing and R Factor 2, please be there. The stream should start around 8 p.m. on Saturday night. So if you're around, please come and join us. But from all of us here at Sim Experience SA, it's good night. And from me, Monet, it's good night. Good night.